One of the top news stories of the week is the fact that Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg was called to testify in front of Congress for his role in the Cambridge Analytica scandal, and the testimony turned into questioning him about what he knew about data breaches, data collection, and essentially the data of all the users that use his service on a daily basis. On Tuesday and Wednesday, I took some time on and off to sit down and watch some of the testimony that was going on. I listened to the questions, I listened to Zuckerberg's answers. One of the most common answers that he gave was the fact that he didn't know, or at least he claimed, and he would get back to the Senate Judiciary Committee in order to explain further what was going on. And not surprisingly, Twitter, and I assume Facebook and other outlets, blew up over this thought, saying that Zuckerberg was just lying, he was a mastermind, and he knew everything that was going on. One of the common themes among the social media users that were quick to call out Zuckerberg was the fact that he should just come clean and talk about what he knows. And they especially focus on the fact that he knew more about the silencing of conservative voices on his platform than he would let on. I do have reason to believe that I am one of the conservative voices that's been suppressed on Facebook. When I went around and asked some of my friends if they had seen any of my videos or channels pop up, I only had one friend come back to me and say, "Yes, I saw your post that you got 10 subscribers on YouTube, and I watched your video on DACA for my Facebook feed." Out of 10 videos and 7 friends that I asked, that is the only positive that I got back to it. So I find it hard to believe that I'm going to be defending Zuckerberg on this topic. But even with all that being said and all that considered, it's still not right to deny him a right that's guaranteed in the Bill of Rights, just like we would guarantee to anybody else in our country. And I'm talking about the Fifth Amendment, and especially the right to prevent yourself from self-incrimination. Over the course of your life, you've probably heard a lot of people say the phrase, "I plead the Fifth." It's definitely become a cliche in our culture, and I honestly don't believe that there are a lot of people in this country that really know what it means. When people say they plead the Fifth, they're actually citing the Fifth Amendment to the United States Constitution, the amendment that surrounds criminal proceedings, both in trial and in punishment. The line in the Fifth Amendment that most people are referring to and that I want to talk about reads as follows: "Nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself." I understand and respect the fact that a Senate Judiciary hearing is not a criminal case. And in most cases, short of Zuckerberg coming out and saying, "Yes, I shot a man in the street just to watch him die," it would be very, very unlikely for any criminal proceedings to come to him directly as a result of a Senate Judiciary hearing. In addition, the fact that this Judiciary hearing is about Facebook not standing up to their end of the end user agreements and the terms of use makes this at best a contractual breach and a civil case rather than a criminal case. So why is this important? Whether or not Mark Zuckerberg is going to go to prison for his role in Cambridge Analytica, the Facebook data gathering, the data breaches, or the suppression of conservative voices is irrelevant to the fact that Mark Zuckerberg has been called before a government agency and a government panel to answer. I do understand that the way that the Fifth Amendment is interpreted by the Supreme Court means that the Senate Judiciary Committee is not required to wait until Zuckerberg has legal representation before they start to question him, but I don't agree with it. And with all the people that are getting busted right now for lying to the FBI and process crimes during the Mueller investigation, I don't blame Zuckerberg one bit for wanting to go back to his office, talk to his lawyers, talk to his accountants, and talk to many other people in his company to make sure that his facts are straight before he says something in front of the Senate that will shoot him in the foot. I've been giving the Fifth Amendment a lot of thought over the last few months, and while I may not have known it the first time I picked up a keyboard and started typing, I definitely knew it the first time that I turned on the camera. This is all public record. God forbid I should ever get myself into a civil or a criminal case in which I have to defend myself. This is all public record, and it's published by YouTube and Google, so the right lawyer is going to be able to go out and find it, and it is going to be admissible in a court of law. Whether or not it's applicable is going to be the question, but it is admissible. However, when it comes to being directly questioned by the police, I do have that right to have a lawyer present, no matter what. Anytime I'm answering directly to a government agency, I should have that right. And so should anybody in the world, no matter what the situation. The first time I gave the Fifth Amendment a lot of thought and credence was back during the Kate Steinle case last year, when a good lawyer in a district that was friendly to illegal immigration got the defendant off on a murder charge that he by all rights should have been convicted of, especially given the fact that he was a 7-time deportee and shouldn't have even been in the country in the first place. Naturally, when all this happened, social media lit up with rage over the fact that the defendant had been offered a lawyer to defend his case, and that he should have never been offered one. He should have just been shoved through the system, shoved back over the border, or shot in the streets. I'm not sure which one they would have preferred. And that really started to bother me. One of the biggest divides in our country is the fact that the people on the left believe our rights are government given, and the people on the right believe that our rights come from God. And that is something that really bothers me in the Steinle case, over the fact that so many people were enraged that he was offered a lawyer and wouldn't be tried without one. If your rights really are God-given, as our founding fathers believed, then any time that you stand in front of a governing agency to answer for a crime or a civil suit, no matter what your immigration or citizenship status is, you should have some sort of representation to act on your behalf. And if it's the right thing to do for somebody who isn't a citizen of our country, who isn't even supposed to legally be in our country, then we absolutely cannot deny counsel to somebody who is a citizen, who's paid his taxes, no matter what the case is. I may not agree with Mark Zuckerberg, and I may not like what it is that he did, but that doesn't mean that I don't believe that he should have some sort of counsel standing there to whisper in his ear and make sure that he doesn't incriminate himself, or at least be able to go back and talk to his lawyers and decide what it is that he shares and make sure all the information is accurate before he stands in front of the governing agency and incriminates himself. Do you believe that Mark Zuckerberg should just answer all the questions outright and throw caution to the wind? Or do you believe, like I do, that he should be allowed to go back to his office and prepare a statement for the Senate Judiciary Committee on the advice of his attorneys and anybody else who's relevant to the case in his company? I always welcome and encourage thoughtful, provocative, and constructive discussion in the comment section below, and especially over on Twitter. That is at EdsBlog Twitter with a 1 in place of the I. Remember, never take the words of bloggers, podcasters, or journalists as gospel. Find all the facts and draw your own conclusion. Take care, everyone.
You're